All right, we're looking at difference of squares. All right, so when we have a difference of squares, we need to be looking for a pattern and look to see if there are perfect squares that are in our trinomial that could have been factored out. Okay, so our shortcut formula is if we have a squared minus b squared, where the numbers in front of a and b are perfect squares, or they are perfect squares, we can use this formula to create our factoring. All right, so the first thing we want to do is always check for our greatest common factor. After that, we want to look to see if the pattern fits the difference of squares pattern. Then we want to find a, then find b, and then we can write our answer as a minus b times a plus b. Okay, so looking at this, there is no greatest common factor, so we're going to move on to finding our a and our b. Okay, our a, I'm just going to take my first term, the x squared, and I'm going to take the square root of that. Well, the square root of a square cancels out, and I'm left with just x. Then I want to find my b, so I'm going to take the square root of 25, which is 5. Now I'm going to plug that into the formula where I have x minus 5 and x plus 5. Okay, let's look at example 2. First thing I want to do is see if there's a greatest common factor. I don't see one, so I want to move on to a. Okay, a I actually have 2 elements to. I'm going to split it into 2. So I'm going to take the square root of the 9 and the square root of the y squared, and I'm multiplying those together because 9y squared is just multiplying 9 and y squared. The square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of y, the square root and the square eliminate, and I'm left with just y. B, I'm going to take the square root of 49, which I know is 7. Okay, that's going to leave me with 3y and 7, so I'm going to put those in. I'll have 3y minus 7 and 3y plus 7. Example 3. Again, I have no greatest common factor. Actually, I do have greatest common factor of 3, so I'm going to factor that out first. Okay, now I'm going to find my a and my b for what is left inside. So that's going to simplify down to x. And that would simplify to 5. So then I want to bring the greatest common factor to the front. Then I would have x minus 5 and x plus 5. All right, example 4. Again, I have no greatest common factor, so I'm going to move on to my a and my b. That's going to simplify just to x. Okay, I'm going to put that into my formula, so x minus 9 and x plus 9. Example 5, again, no greatest common factor. I'm going to split this by the 16 and the a squared. So square root of 16 is 4. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of 1 is just 1. So my solution here is going to be 4a minus 1 and 4a plus 1. Example 6. Again, I have no greatest common factor. So I'm going to start with my a. which will get me x, and then b, I have the square root of y squared, again, my square root, and my square eliminate, and I'm left with y. So then in my solution, I would have x minus y and x plus y.